Hey everybody, welcome to the long-awaited return of the Golden Goblet. This week we're doing something a little different. By the way, administratively, last week, the only reason we didn't do anything is because we couldn't come up with a game to play. This week we've hit the drawing board, and we're coming back with Clubhouse Games, but it's going to be a little bit different. Every day, there's going to be a different game. I'm gonna give you the preamble first. Chess, checkers, Ludo, Chinese checkers, pool, dominoes, carom. That's what we're gonna play here. And instead of being a traditional Golden Goblet where every day there's a gold, a silver, and a bronze, we're gonna make it so that at the end of the 7 days, it's almost like a septathlon. At the end of the 7 days, whoever has the most wins will pick up the gold, second most wins will get the silver, and so on and so forth. So it's true. We're starting with chess. It's a bit of a wild card, to be honest. And this is what I like about this for the Golden Goblet. The best player may not win. As you can see, I have 7 games of chess played and 8 wins. I did lose once online. It can happen. I've played a lot of chess in my life. But if we go up against a shark, anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's just that simple. So it's possible I could get an easy opponent and crush him. Dan could end up playing against Grandmaster Garry Kasparov or Anatoly Karpov. Let's see. You're going to start with king pawn to e4. I will follow that up with a king pawn to e5. You're gonna try to do the classic queen bishop mate, okay, or not. Okay, I choose to develop my kingside knight. I don't really know what you're doing here. We could get ready to castle, but I would look at this as an opportunity perhaps to, I mean, the queen move is very weird because it blocks in his bishop, but it's been a long time since I played. I feel like we would like to not castle early, and instead we'll develop our queenside knight. Let's see what this guy's game plan is. He's going to develop his bishop. So I think this is our opportunity to get a little bit of tempo. A bishop for a knight is not a great trade. But if it completely destroys his pawn structure, it could very much be worth it. So let's see if he's gonna... You think he's gonna go all the way? You think he's gonna do a double press? He's not gonna do a double press. He's merely going to move his bishop there. So, my next... I actually don't mind moving my bishop here, and then if he swaps, it destroys our pawn structure, but also frees our rook, which is quite nice. Before we do that, I would like to get into a position where my my queenside bishop is ready to go. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I mean, he clearly he knows what he's doing. He's not a terrible player. Not a great player necessarily, but could beat me for sure. We're going to throw in a castle here. It's been a pretty simple game so far. Pretty simple. Oh, is he going for it? He's going for it. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind swapping here. If you're interested in swapping. Strikes me as a bit strange. I'll tell you what I'm interested in doing is maybe putting some pressure on him here as well. Let's see. Let's see what he's trying to do here. I don't really want to give him the space to free up his queen because that allows him to move his bishop and castle on his king side. But I do want to keep him busy. Really, I'd like to get my knight to move into the D4 position, which I can't highlight for you on the map, but if you're familiar with chess notation. So I certainly would not mind if you took... I mean, there's a lot of interesting plays here, quite frankly. I would like to pressure this first. And he has moved back to his previous position. Interesting. This is a thinker. This is not, I'm not playing against somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. Whether or not they're a star is remains to be seen. So I got 40 seconds. You got to give me some time here to think this one through. You got to give me some time here to think this one through. Because this is, it's legitimately a little touchy. I kind of don't mind this move right here. Let's see how he chooses to react. I didn't really run this one through the processor. In fact, you're absolutely right. I didn't run it through the processor. It was a bad move. Just a full stop bad move. I believe if he would like to take my knight, I'd choose to allow it. It's a tough one. This is, I mean, I've screwed up. I got an idea. Okay. I'm gonna go knight here, and I want to see how he reacts to this. Because he really will not wish to capture my bishop with his knight, or I will take his queen. So how will you react to this unique situation, sir? I probably wouldn't have. Okay, that's a great start. I was genuinely nervous for a second here. I really was. I was like, this is a problem. But I think that, thank you, chess brain. I appreciate it. So we're gonna move this to here, and it's not gonna create too forked up of a situation for us. He's throwing, because now we get the ability to take his knight for free. He cannot capture with the pawn because his king would be in check. Oh. And we have a fork set up on the king, but he's not going to allow that to happen, which seems fair. But now our knight is like super fortified in there. All right, so I mean, it's really up to him if he chooses to go for this one. I gotta be honest, the blood was pumping a little bit. So next step might be to start dismantling his kingside pawn situation. Like, this pawn right here is very vulnerable, but if I go queen here, he'll rook here, and then it might give him tempo because I have to respond. Obviously, we have to do something. I still like it. Let's put the ball in his court and see how he feels about this. Really, we're in a great spot as long as we don't make a mistake that blunders our queen. You can't take it, brother. I got you protected. This is about, like, when I used to play in, like, school-level chess tournaments, this is the guy you would play, and this is very braggadocious, I'll admit. This is the guy you play in the final round, and he's, like, really cocky because he knows the rules and doesn't lose very often. I'm just making sure. And then you hit him with, like, some real chess, and he just is like, I don't know. I just don't know. So I don't believe we have mate here. We could take the bishop and put him in check. Actually, I think we have mate.
Check.
You will now move there, and I will move here.
Checkmate.
Oh, baby! Good game. Good game, Chase. How about that? That was surprisingly a little bit tougher than I actually expected it to be. But I gotta tell you, I was nervous about the first game of chess here. So, I mean, that's it. We got a dub on chess. That's the minimum level for me to have some confidence going into the rest of the week. Because I am not a good checkers player. And now if we lose, whatever, who cares? Okay, we secured the dub today to get us to 1 point. That's good stuff. And I gotta be honest, that guy, by Switch chess standards, is pretty okay. He's pretty okay. Oh, baby. I swear, like, of the games that I've played of chess on Clubhouse Games, I've probably been the black pieces maybe, I would say like 7 of 9 times now. So this is unusual for me to be in the driver's seat. Dia seems to know what they're doing. Seems to know what they're doing. I like to play an open game of chess, so I will leave it up to you to see how you feel about this queen pawn to d5 sort of interaction we got going on here. You could capture the pawn with your pawn, and that's pretty common. And then are you going to capture the knight, or are you going to develop a piece and let me capture the knight? Let's see. This is a pretty, I mean, this is a bit of maybe a juvenile opening, but that's my fault. And it's also, it's weird. It's just a weird opening, right here. I don't really mind you being there, quite frankly. We could develop the pawn to f4. And again, these are probably not the right plays, but it's been a long time since I knew what the right play looked like. We could, if we move the bishop to f4, he moves the knight here, and then we're down on tempo a little bit. So, we can't really develop the kingside bishop. For now, I would probably say, because his knight is in a very weird spot, I think we can just keep moving onwards here. And we'll proceed with our game plan and not get rattled by the existence of this this knight here. Okay, it's a move probably made to develop his queen towards the queen side. Unfortunately, well, I don't know. Maybe he's developing the queen pawn to get pushed out here. In which case, we actually have some interesting kind of plays. Like we could move our queen here. And then if he moves this pawn up, we capture it. And, well, yeah, no, he would capture with the pawn, but then our queen would start to put him in check. But I think that is actually like a pretty not great move. But if I move the bishop, if I move the bishop to there, it just gets taken. You know what? Because this game doesn't matter as much, we can always develop our bishop onto the H file, which is where the rook is on the right side of the board here. Let's have some fun, shall we? And if it ends up being off the book, then so be it. 6 moves in, we're off the book. Let's see how you pursue this one. All right, that was a highly unexpected maneuver, creating a lot of space, quite frankly, for our knights to thrive. So I'm looking at it. Let me play with the board here. I do this. You have to go here. After you go there, I could move this pawn up one more. Then you would just go back. But then I could move the bishop out. We'd be forced probably to queenside castle. But in the interest of making the game kind of interesting, why don't we pursue this cursed move? I want to be clear. This is not good chess, I think. I have a choice between playing a structured game plan that I think would have a better chance of success, or to get a little goofy with it. And I'm choosing at present to get a little goofy with it and see if he falls into my trap. We're completely destroying our king side in order to make this happen, but alternatively, we're also putting a lot of pressure on him. So we knew this was coming, at which point he will probably, my expectation would be that he'll develop his f-pawn to f6 to protect the knight. He could do queen pawn up one. It would be weird because it would allow my knight to take his c6 pawn, but I mean, is anybody even listening to what I'm saying anymore? So this is, in my opinion, probably not the best move he could have done there. And so he's down a piece, but the real problem is actually, we'll just put this here for now. The real problem is actually not that he's down a piece, but that he's developed no pieces at all. He's moved pretty much exclusively the same knight over and over. Which is, I'm not trying to be rude, it's just, It's not a great play. So the positioning of this knight boils down to here, which is hard to develop it in the future, or here, or we could block in our bishop. And I choose to block in our bishop to keep our queen side open for castling, because I think our king side is so destroyed already as to be unproductive to castle there. I really don't like queenside castling, but you gotta do what you gotta do from time to time. Again, I can't stress enough. I consider that his moves are inadvisable right now. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll move my knight back here, which is acceptable, and feeling pretty okay. Really, we got to do something about his king bishop that's on the black squares. If we can do that, these pawns are all gonna get torn up, and we should be pretty safe on the queen side regardless. If I had to predict a move here, I would probably say he's gonna move his knight, his king side knight to f6, just ahead of that the pawn that's in front of the bishop. Well, you know, in many ways, that's it's a bold move. But if you're wondering, by the way, why you would maybe... I mean, we're not going to get taken right away. He'll probably develop the bishop to try to attack our queen, maybe. I mean, he might just move the bishop to b7. Yeah, it seemed more apropos. Just trying to see if there's a... You know what? I bet I got something interesting here. This would be cheeky. Let's see if he takes the bishop with his queen and then just gets checkmated. Alright, I'm sorry to do this, Dia.
Checkmate.
It was a good game. Well, I hope you've enjoyed a rare but beautiful foray into chess. We've picked up 1 point in the Golden Goblet for Monday. And a lot of people have been asking for chess, so I hope you enjoyed it. Admittedly, this is the best way to play chess on stream or on video, because you're not running up against too many tryhards. You are the tryhard, which is the best position. I believe tomorrow will be checkers. And welcome back to the Golden Goblet. For now, thanks for watching. Click the like button if you enjoyed the episode. This video was a lot of fun for me. And go to goldengoblet.net to see how everyone's stacking up in the Septathlon this week. And of course, youtube.com/Dan Giesling, youtube.com/Michael L. Fox to see how they're doing. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.